Pranava, Om, or the Omkara in the Vedas, is the primeval hymn. The Veda begins with Pranava, which is officially called Omkara, and this is the primeval hymn. It is acknowledged that Om is the original Vedic hymn. This is the actual text that is recorded in Chaitanya Charitamrita on this. And you can see how many times Prabhupada gives references to this Omkara from Bhagavad Gita 8.13. And then notice this uh, from chapter 9. Again, Om comes here, Omkara. Then notice chapter 17 of Bhagavad Gita, Om Tat Sat. So Om appears several times. Several times it appears. And apart from that, it is considered the original sound vibration from which the entire universe has come, because Om is described in the scriptures to be non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In fact, there is an Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, which talks about this in great detail. And this Mandukya Upanishad talks about how the absolute truth is referred to by Om. It begins with Om ityetadaksharam itam sarvam tasya upavyakhyanam bhutam bhavad bhavishyaditi sarvam omkara eva yachanyatrik kalatitam tadapyonkara eva sarvam hyetad brahma ematma brahma. It goes on like that, that how Omkara is a representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Madhvacharya in his commentary on Mandukya Upanishad has revealed with references to various other scriptures which talk about the same topics, that this Om is actually referring to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Hari. And Prabhupada has also quoted from the great acharyas, from Sri Jiva Goswami, who has referred to the supplementary literatures which have discussed Omkara. And this particular quotation is given, very interesting quotation. Akarenochyate Vishnu, Akarenochyate Krishna, Sarvalokaika Ukarenochyate Radha, Makaro Jivavachakaha. So Omkara or Om is a combination of three Sanskrit letters, A, U and Ma. The alphabet A, the alphabet, the sound A, the sound U, and the sound Ma. And A refers to Krishna, who is the Lord of, who is the singular Lord of all the living entities, planets, and so on. U refers to Radha, and the Ma in A, U, Om, Ma, that refers to the living entity. Therefore, when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra contains Omkara. Prabhupada mentions this in his commentary to Bhagavad Gita, because Hare refers to Radha, Krishna refers to Krishna, and because you're calling out to Hare and Krishna, you're calling out, Hey Radhe, Hey Krishna, please engage me in your devotional service. It is understood that the person who is offering this prayer is a servant of Radha and Krishna, and that refers to the Jiva. So we understand that Omkara is contained in the Hare Krishna mantra, and at any rate, Omkara is the main statement. This transcendental sound is identical with the form of the Lord. Abhinatvat namanamino. There's no difference between the name and the named when we are talking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the Vedic hymns are based on this Pranava Omkara. All Vedic hymns are expansions of Omkara. Here is a text from the 9th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Eka eva pura veda pranavah sarvavangmaya devo narayano nanya ekognir varna evacha. In the Satya Yuga, the first millennium, all the Vedic mantras were included in one mantra. Pranava, the root of all Vedic mantras. In other words, the Atharva Veda alone was the source of all Vedic knowledge. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana was the only worshipable deity. There was no recommendation for worship of the demigods. Fire was one only, and only one order of life in human society was known as Hamsa. And the only order of life in human society was known as Hamsa. So we understand very clearly that previously there was only one Veda, and Pranava was the only mantra that was recited, because all the Vedic mantras are contained inside Pranava. Look here, Pranavaha, Omkara, Sarva Vakmaya, consisting of all Vedic mantras. So it is understood that Pranava or uh, Omkara, it includes all the Vedic mantras. Tattvamasi is but a side word in the Vedic literatures, and therefore this word cannot be the primeval hymn of the Vedas. Now, this requires some background understanding. Here, Adilila 7.128 in the purport, Prabhupada he explains that Shankaracharya's followers consider certain statements in the Upanishads to be what are called Mahavakyas, great statements. These are to be distinguished from ordinary statements, they claim. These Mahavakyas are the primeval Vedic mantras which are found in the Upanishads. And by primeval, they mean that these are teaching the absolute truth. The other ones are not really teaching the absolute truth, they are actually teaching beneficial illusion, illusion that benefits you. For instance, they tell you that there is a supreme being and you are his eternal servant. This is beneficial illusion. This is the claim of Shankaracharya's followers. And if you ask them, but do all the Vedas speak like that? Are they all presenting beneficial illusion? No, they reply. They say, no, there are certain statements, the great statements, the Mahavakyas, Maha means great, Vakya means statement. The Mahavakyas, they say the absolute truth as it is. And these great statements are Tattvamasi, you are God, Chandogya Upanishad. Idam sarvam yaddayam Brahma idam sarvam. Everything indeed is Brahma, is Brahman. All of this is the self. Atmai vedam sarvam, Atma eva idam sarvam. All of this is indeed the self. These are from Brihadaranyaka and Chandogya Upanishads. Na iha nanasti kinchana, neha nanasti kinchana. There is nothing else other than Brahman in existence. Nothing else at all from Katha Upanishad. So these are what they consider to be the Mahavakyas. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's statement is no, this is wrong. The Mahavakya is actually Pranava. The Mahavakya is Om, which contains which is Krishna's names, which is the name of Radha Krishna. This holy name of Krishna, this is the Mahavakya. And therefore Prabhupada has commented here, that is a great mistake. Only Omkara is the Mahavakya. All these other mantras that the Mayavadis accept as the Mahavakya are only incidental. They cannot be taken as the Mahavakya or Mahamantra. The mantra Tattvamasi indicates only a partial understanding of the Vedas, unlike Omkara, which represents the full understanding of the Vedas. Therefore, the transcendental sound that includes all Vedic knowledge is Omkara or Pranava. For your information, in none of the 10 prime Upanishads, which have been commented by Shankaracharya, in fact, and they have been commented by Madhvacharya also, and later on by you'll find similar Vaishnava commentaries by Ramanujacharya, Ramanujacharya's followers. Vedanta Deshika and Rangaramanuja have commented on the 10 principal Upanishads. If you look at the text of the 10 principal Upanishads, you do not find any statement there which says that these are all Mahavakyas or these are very great statements and the other statements are to be taken very lightly. No, you don't find that. Rather, I had quoted from Mandukya Upanishad, and it is one of the 10, and it is very, very explicit, clear. And there are other places also where Om has been stated to be the most important sound vibration, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Uh, so, Tattvamasi is but a side word in the Vedic literatures, and therefore this word cannot be the primeval hymn of the Vedas. What is the meaning of a side word? Side word means that it gives partial knowledge. Tat means that. Tvam means you. Asi means you are. Tattvamasi. You are that Godhead. Now, this is actually referring to the idea that you are qualitatively the Godhead or you belong to that Godhead. Now, this does not mean you are literally the Godhead in the absolute sense ultimately. This does not mean that. Now, how this is so, uh, I can discuss it in a perhaps in a in a separate context. But Tattvamasi is certainly just a side word. At any rate, Tattvamasi is not considered by the Upanishads themselves to be Mahavakyas. Uh, simply, it is simply a propaganda device uh, of Shankaracharya's to use Tattvamasi and to bring it out and tell everyone this is the reality. The reality is stated in a few great statements, Mahavakyas, and Tattvamasi is that or one of that. In reality, Tattvamasi is just giving partial understanding of the relationship between the living entity and the Supreme Being. Yes, the living entity is qualitatively one with God. That is one part. That is true. It is not denied. It is certainly true. And it is very important that the living entities understand that they are qualitatively one with God. But they should also understand how they are quantitatively insignificant and different from God. And therefore, Tattvamasi is only giving a partial truth. It is truth, definitely, but it is only partial truth. And therefore, Lord Chaitanya has referred to this as a side word in the Vedic literatures, whereas Om is directly the absolute truth. So, Om has a greater weightage than Tattvamasi or Ayam Atma Brahma, Sarvameva Idam Atma, and so on. There are statements which are considered by Shankaracharya's followers to be great statements, but they are only great in their limited applications. Sripad Shankaracharya has given more stress on the side word Tattvamasi than on the primeval principle Omkara. So Shankaracharya has given more stress to Tattvamasi, saying that Tattvamasi conveys the factual truth. This is simply his propaganda. However, this is not the reality. The reality is Tattvam is one word, and this is called Shashti Tat Purusha. The Tat stands for Tasya. Tvam, you are of him, you belong to him. That is the actual idea. The Lord thus spoke on the Vedanta Sutra and defied all the propaganda of the Mayavada school. The Mayavada school, Shankaracharya's followers, they claim monopoly over the Vedanta Sutra. They claim that we actually understand the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra. But this is simply their own silly propaganda. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu simply defied their propaganda. Preaching means to defy opposing views which are against the teachings of the liberated Vedic scriptures. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as the teacher par excellence, demonstrates that this is our business, that we need to defy all the propaganda of untruth. Srila Prabhupada has commented here in a footnote. In our teachings of Lord Chaitanya, we have more elaborately explained all these philosophical intricacies. Srimad Bhagavatam clarifies them all. In teachings of Lord Chaitanya, which is a summary study of a portion of Chaitanya Charitamrita, of 5 different portions of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada has elaborately explained the intricacies of these Vada Vivadas, these disputes between Mayavada and Vaishnava philosophy. But Srimad Bhagavatam explains in detail the correct teaching, and therefore it forms a clarification on this topic.